Hello, this is Ash from Crack Minis, and today I'm going to be building a diorama. This is my first one that I'm doing on my channel, well, on purpose. I mean, some of my builds look like dioramas, but they're not. And the theme for this diorama is The Last of Us. It's going to be a Christmas present for my partner. I hope she enjoys this, if she watches it. I don't know if she actually does watch my videos or not. Well, it'd be more of a surprise if she doesn't, so kind of hope she doesn't for this one, but... So, because I didn't want to have to scratch build every single part of this, I decided to use some Project Z characters from the Biker Gang and the Zombie Horde box. I will say the plastic is a little bit hard to work with on these for some reason. I haven't really noticed it with any of the other Warlord game stuff that I've used in the past, but this one just seemed a bit difficult getting everything to stick together right. I think it's probably because I'm more used to heroic scale miniatures rather than what these are, just true scale miniatures with some heroic elements. Like the heads on the bikers are slightly larger than they should be. Things like that. So I started sculpting with Milliput Superfine White, which had a hell of a time adhering to the plastic as well, so I had to rub it down a bit with some fine sandpaper just to get it to stick properly. If you've seen Last of Us before, you realise that it's not like they're zombies, but they're not actual zombies. It's mushrooms taking them over, so they go like flappy. It's the best way of describing it, flappy. And like I said, used Milliput to get that. Oh yeah, I forgot. Like and subscribe. So I normally do a story element for these videos, and I'm not quite sure exactly how I'm going to do it for this one, but I'm thinking more just setting the scene, just so that you guys can use your imaginations to picture what's going to happen next. Like I said, I'm not quite used to making dioramas, so bear with me. So let's get to the easy part, which is the actual background for this. So I figured because I was making a diorama, I only really needed to make the bit that you can see, so the front of it. So I made a square base. The stuff I use for my base is a foam X. It's like a signboard material. I got lucky, someone gave me some, and I get very little warping with it, and it seems to be sturdy enough. I'll see how it holds up long run as I go, but yeah, foam X. And I used a foam board for the walls. I'm not 100% sure if the super glue I'm using is foam safe or not, but it doesn't seem to have melted it too much, so I'm just going to assume that it is. That's not me suggesting that you use super glue on the foam board. Most of the time I use PVA glue. It's just I was feeling a bit lazy, and super glue is just faster. Once everything was glued on and I put some little matchstick window frames in, I covered it all in my terrain paste. My terrain paste is made from ready mix filler, white glue, and any colour acrylic you want, as long as you can see where it's not once you spread it on. That's the goal. Because if it's all white, you're not going to see where you've got it if you put it on top of white. Okay, time for some flavour, because I can't just have a barren diorama. It has to have some engagement to it to make it look lifelike. Alright, so I started by putting on a little 3D printed ladder, and then covering that with a hair curler. You know, the plastics from inside of a hair curler, as like a safety rail. I normally make my own ladders, but for this one, because I wanted it to be uniform, I 3D printed it. Then I filled the windows with some wood and pulled out my tyres. I got these tyres for another video, but they make good use here. I got loads of them. They're going to be used for making walls, something to do with murder hobos or main characters, and how to protect your hands against them. I'm workshopping ideas at the moment. If you get this far in the video, just throw some ideas out. Give me some suggestions for that. It's going to be later down the line. I threw on a few barrels, 3D printed ones, some that I had lying around, and some of those pieces, some of those edge fasteners. I'm getting some use out of those. To be fair, they're a great buy. I suggest you having a look for them yourselves. I'll try and find a link and put it in the description. And then I jammed in a paintbrush handle as a lamppost. Seemed like a good idea, because that side of the base was looking a bit boring. And I jammed in a wire as well. So I guess it's time to paint it. As again, I said in the last video, weather hasn't been great in Wales, so rattle cans still aren't an option at the moment, so still going with the airbrush. I'm starting to not like it. It makes things easier, but it's just takes so much longer than spraying with a rattle can, because that's like 2 seconds done, especially with the base coat anyway. It's not so bad with when you're actually adding colour on, which is shading and things like that, easier. I did quite a lot of experimentation with this paint job, with pigment powders and enamel paints, just to see what I could come up with, just to try, because it's like I said, it's out of my wheelhouse. I'm not used to doing dioramas, so I also wanted to give myself the opportunity to learn something as I went. The pigment powders I used are made from crushed pastels, because I'd seen someone else use them on YouTube. And another trick I saw on Instagram where you use pigment powder and mix it with a little bit of water or clear medium and put it on, and it turns into like a rust effect. Okay, so it's story time. Where to begin? So this group of survivors stumble across this small town. It seems pretty abandoned, so they send 2 scouts in. I'm not 100% on names, maybe Dave and John or something. Dave or John, there you go. Dave and John. They go into this town. Everything seems pretty quiet. A lot of the buildings are sealed up, so they assume that there's food there. There's a big fair assumption. There's no warning signs for any of the infected. And they start pulling boards off this door. That's when they start hearing it. Uh-oh. And then they turn around, and there's infected everywhere on the street. They've snuck up on them. So they whip out their guns, start shooting up the whole place. Then this banging starts. Well, it's not so much banging as it's thud of something massive running towards them. Boom, 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 boom. And that's when they see it. And it's a blower. It's huge. Alright, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't actually have a blower for this. I was turning the little guy with the hospital gown into one, but then I realised he just wasn't big enough. So I've ordered something that I think is going to be about the right size that I want, and I am going to be kit bashing and sculpting in the next episode a blower just for you lot. So what you can technically call this is Crack Minis The Last of Us Diorama Part 1. I am sorry that I didn't have a blower for you on this, but I wanted to show you what I'd made. And if you did enjoy the video, like and subscribe. Remember, leave comments, even if it's just to complain that I've made this a 2-parter. I do like responding to your comments, and some of the comments I've been getting have been really good. Thank you for everyone who has been said to be comments. That makes my day seeing them, and I do enjoy replying to them. That's where I'm going to be putting it. And on to the glam shots. I'll see you next time.